What about the Donald Trump Chia Pet here?
10 bucks.
10? That's rough. Is he missing his ear?
No.
My grandson, who's 12, he's like, don't get rid of my motorcycle.
Are your vinyls all priced the same, or are they different?
No, it's like, I don't know, bucks a piece.
And we have like a Guns N' Roses, like old.
Are they newer or are they old?
They're old.
Okay, I'd check those out if you'd be interested. But that is one of the craziest experiences garage sailing I've ever come across. Just crazy. Got here at the flea market before literally anybody else, which is always a good thing. That booth right there, I know the guy that runs that. More than likely there's going to be really good stuff there. So let's go ahead and get our GoPro put in and get ready. This guy coming in right here, we're going to make sure we hit up his booth because he sells his stuff for cheap. And one reason you can see why is, look at all that. He doesn't want to haul all that crap back up. So we're going to make sure we keep an eye out for where he goes, and we're going to hit his booth up as soon as he opens. As I'm walking up to this booth, I see my friend who just recently purchased one of the most coveted video games for all collectors. Found any earthbounds over here?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? Oh, yeah?
I haven't seen this one in a while.
Which one? Oh, yeah. That's cool. What about the Donald Trump Chia Pet here?
10 bucks.
10? That's rough. Is he missing his ear?
No.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah. I've never seen Pocket Player stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Did that come out around the same time they started doing like the TV things or what?
No, I think that's recent. It's like early 2000s.
Okay. So here we stopped at that guy's booth that I mentioned earlier in the video, and he had just started getting set up. Now what I'm looking at are a couple of Wilton pans. I always keep my eye out for Wilton pans if they're in good condition and they're cheap, because they can surprisingly sell pretty well. What would y'all be asking on these? I know you're...
Go ahead, dude. Let's go, I'll do $3 a piece on those.
Okay, yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're good pieces.
$3 a piece was a little rich for me, only because these are not fast sellers. What would be asking on them?
On the game?
Yeah.
The other ones were a little scratched.
Can I see a garbage pail?
Yeah. That's more fun.
Oh wow, I didn't know there was a garbage pail movie.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think I do remember seeing this when I was a kid. It scared the hell out of me.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I haven't seen it. I was telling you about it.
Yeah. We'll come back to his booth. I get too tempted asking how much stuff is, and I don't like bothering them when they're bringing stuff out. So this right here is what you want to look for. The stuff where it's like a little bit messy. Nobody really wants to go through it. And man, I think I already see something. Vintage clothes. Looks like it's all just local high school stuff. Bummer. See a cool little Seahawks helmet. Maybe I'll get lucky and there'll be a autograph on there like the Chiefs helmet from a few videos ago. Doesn't look like it. Oh, thank you.
So you can put it together, you can record it like this?
Yep, I have a YouTube channel. People actually like to watch.
Where you get these, in line?
Oh, it's around my back. So it's like strapped around back here.
I like it because I play music.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
you can
Yeah, it would be good for that, for sure. For sure.
Oh, you need... Yeah, it's pretty nice.
How you doing? Plastic. Put 5?
There's a little more redskin stuff on the.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll get it for 5. Even though it's like blasphemy to bring this in my house. That's fine. As I always check.
This unit, I bought 4 storage units this week.
Oh yeah?
And this one unit I bought had like all the hookups and a controller.
Oh no.
And a bunch of empty GameCube cases and no GameCube.
What is round 2? An interesting note about that Ready to Rumble 2 is it actually had Michael Jackson as a playable character in it. Are your vinyls all priced the same or are they different?
No, it's like, I don't know, bucks a piece.
Oh, it's not in there. Damn. Damn. What are you asking on the Wii controllers?
I was gonna say, so like a couple like $3 a piece on the Wii controllers, and then the Xbox One is $50.
Okay.
And I tested it out; it turns on, works great. So. And I think the battery covers for some of those controllers are in that top with all the
okay.
electronics.
Cool. $50 a piece are good on these, but I'm looking for the Motion Control Plus. So. That's what we want to grab. So we got 3, 6, 9, 5 for the helmet. Makes us all $14. Hopefully this will clean up really good. This ended up not being an authentic helmet, and I couldn't tell at first because of how dirty it was, but I was able to sell it for $20 to somebody locally on Facebook Marketplace. This garage sale is a little out of the way of the city, so I usually have decent luck at these. Pardon me, I'm gonna step over here. Sorry about that. What do we have here? $19.98. Is there anywhere I could set these down just so I could?
Yeah, just set them down here.
Perfect. Thank you.
Those were my sons.
Oh man, yeah, they are. They're 98. I love those things.
Well, I kept the little motorcycles. My grandson, who's 12, is like, "Don't get rid of my motorcycle."
Can I break a 20 for you?
Yeah. What you got? All 3 of them?
Yeah, I got all 3. Be it. No, it was 5, 10, and 3 on those.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
13. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm nostalgic of the 90s stuff. And when I was a kid, I had the little skateboards, but I never had the
thing, yeah,
the actual. Now I'm going to take a second to talk about this garage sale because there is a crazy sequence of events that happens. So as I'm looking, this lady running the sale asked me if there's anything in particular that I'm looking for. When I mention old t-shirts, she tells me she has 3 bags full of shirts that she wore in middle school and high school. Or even shirts, like 90s shirts. You know, like wrestling. I'm big into wrestling, if you have any old wrestling stuff.
The only shirts that we have is like, we have an MTV shirt. This is MTV. And we have like a Guns N' Roses, like old.
Are they newer or are they old?
They're old.
Yeah, I'd check those out if you'd be interested in.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So after this interaction, this lady comes back quickly and says, hey, I can't get to the shirts right now. Can you come back later and I'll have them ready for you? And I said, yeah, I'll come back in about 3 hours. This also allowed me time to go to the ATM machine to get money because if what she was saying was true, I was going to pay up for these shirts. Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, I have one of them. And I have Jason Voorhees.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
And all four of them together, Michael Myers.
Okay, yeah, if it's cool, I'll leave you my number and I can swing back by. Yes, ma'am, thank you. At this point, I'm ecstatic, and I sent my buddy that does vintage clothing a text to let him in on this as well. Now here in a second, me and my buddy show back up a few hours later, and when we come back, there's a man there running the sale with the woman. Now I didn't get it all on video, but the way that he was talking to her started to make me and my friend feel very uncomfortable. He was just overall very bossy and demeaning towards her for no real particular reason, and it just made a very awkward atmosphere at the garage sale. This is when my buddy told me that the guy there is somebody he routinely sees at the flea market and is always in a bad mood and has a bad attitude every time he sees him. For those of you that don't know, this means that this is not a vintage t-shirt. That's a bummer. Well, now they're arguing. That was one of the craziest interactions I've ever had. So, wow. So as you guys saw, when I first went to that garage sale, you know, I asked the lady about the vintage clothing, and she told me, you know, she had a bunch of stuff she wore when she was a kid, and anyways, you saw all that. What you didn't see was, I called a buddy of mine that also does clothing and let him know, you know, they potentially had some stuff, and he was on his way out, and the lady was like, yeah, it went from all of a sudden being like 3 bags full of clothes to I have like 6 shirts. And the first shirt she pulled out was a Batman shirt that she said was old, and sure enough, not a vintage shirt. And I felt so bad because I told my buddy, you know, like we potentially had a spot, and of course that was not a good sign. So then she brings out the Prince shirt that the Prince shirt that she wore in middle school, right? And told us again as she handed it to me, yep, this is the one I wore in middle school. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. So then we both kind of knew, like, okay, well, nothing here is going to be vintage. But I felt kind of bad because, you know, I had asked the lady, like, if she didn't mind going and looking for that stuff. So I don't know if I got it on camera, but I found a Michelangelo, like, stuffed doll from 1990. The guy wanted $5 for it, so I told him, I said, hey, you know, you wanted $5 for this, I'll give you guys $10 for the hassle of looking through all that stuff, right? And the entire time we were there at the sale, this guy was just being super, super snippy with his wife, and she was like, she was nothing but nice. So as I was leaving, and I think you can see part of it, I'll include it actually. As I was leaving, I was trying to make a quick little video about the Michelangelo and to explain, you know, like this, that I gave them some money for the trouble, and they just started yelling at each other like absolutely wild. And to say, you know, disappointed because I thought I'd hit something is an understatement, but that is one of the craziest experiences garage sailing I've ever come across. Just crazy. This is an estate sale company that I've never seen in my area before, and I have a bad feeling they probably only take cash. We'll see. A couple little Cabbage Patch Kids here. Only $5. This looks like a vintage one. 1982. $5 a piece on these guys. So we didn't come across a lot of items in today's video, and we didn't stumble across anything big, but whenever I made this YouTube account, I decided I wanted to show the reality of thrifting, and the reality is sometimes you just have bad weeks. But even when you have bad weeks, you can still make a profit and you can still have fun. If you enjoyed the video, follow along for more. Until then, keep thrifting and flipping.
gains, profit triple. We